triangle and your right angle triangle. Anytime you have a sine, cos or tan, you can make a right angle triangle out of it. Now, SOHCAHTOA, what does that mean about the the 5 and the 13? Which side is 5?
It means it's opposite.
And a hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is your 13. Your opposite is your 5. Figure out what the x is. Okay. So what we're going to do is which number starts first? Using Pythagoras' theorem, it's going to be something squared equals something squared plus something squared. The longest side. And why was I able to use Pythagoras' theorem? Right angle triangle. Only for right angle triangles. Bring 25 out the other side. 144 equals x squared. X equals 12. Or x equals the square root of 144, which is 12. Now, upon getting that as 12, what can you then tell me about cos theta and sine theta? Anybody?
So what is that? Is that 169 up there?
Yeah, 169, and then you took away 25 and you brought it over to your side.
Yeah.
And you got 144. Okay, what's cos theta, guys? Adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 12 over 13. And we're looking for tan theta now. Tan theta? Anybody?
What does theta actually mean?
It means this angle here. It doesn't actually mean anything. That could be tan A, tan B, tan C. It doesn't mean anything specific, but it's an angle. What's tan theta, guys?
Opposite over
which is 5 over 12. Now stop there. The next thing goes, find out what cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. Show it. So we have 12 over 13 squared for cos theta. For sine theta, we're going to have 5 over 13 squared and equals 1. Then all you have to do underneath is just say 1 equals 1. Just put it into the calculator and it should come out as 1. So everything here, put it directly into the calculator and you get 1 equals 1. Okay. Now, there's a really easy way to do this one. Anybody tell me a really easy way to do part 3? Well, you have a choice. You can do sine inverse, cos inverse, or tan inverse. I'll just get. You can choose to sine inverse. If I use sine inverse, what do I have to sine inverse? So I could sine inverse 5 over 13, and it's 22.62, but I asked for the nearest degree, so 23. I also could have done I could have done cos inverse 12 over 13 or tan inverse 5 over 12. Because it's all the same angle, it should all give me the same answer. Let's try tan inverse 5 over 12. Same answer, right? Still 23. So it doesn't matter if you use sine, cos or tan, you'll always find the angle.
I did the whole cos thing for free and still got the right answer.
Yeah, you really made hard work of it, but I admire your dedication to getting that answer there. It's not good. It was great work, but time-wise, you're costing yourself. Okay. Now, guys, this one here.
So if you just do sine inverse and put in the next inverse, then you can do it.
Yeah.
So tomorrow are we going to do the test for the whole of the class?
No, just 40. It's going to be shorter than the last one. Okay, lads, just 34 degrees. Okay, it's in this angle here, and we want to find out PR. What side is PR compared to the 34? Opposite. Okay, and what side is the 15 compared to the angle 34? Which one do we use, sine, cos or tan? Because we're using opposite and adjacent, which is tan. So tan what, guys? What goes beside tan?
34.
Always the angle, and it equals what? X over 15. And this 15 is going to go up here. We're going to get 15 tan 34 equals, and X will therefore equal 15 tan 34. Was it? 10.12. Now, let me show you what some of you were doing, and it's alright. Some of you were very much in the sine rule mode. Everything was a sine rule. Okay? So, another way of getting the answer would be that, see the way that's 34? That one's 90, therefore the top one has to be 56. What some of you did was this. You said 15 over sine 56 equals x over sine what, guys? What angle is opposite x? And then you brought the sine 34 up, and you got 15 sine 34 over sine. This is still the same question, guys. It's just some of you did it using the sine rule, which is actually okay, but it takes longer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, you get 10.12 again. Is that right? So you can use the sine rule or cosine rule, okay? Now, hence calculate the angle PSR, this angle here. We call it angle S. So what two sides do we know on this triangle?
The opposite.
We know PR is 10.12, and what do we know about this? 8. So what are we going to use, Mick? Tan, sine, cos, or tan?
What you need?
This triangle here, I'm just going to colour it in red. And see the angle S? There, we need to know the angle S. So any idea what to do there? Well, it's 8 here and 10.12 here. So is it sine, cos, or tan?
What you need for the hypotenuse?
There's your rhyme. You need to know the angle, PSR.
Hypotenuse.
No, hypotenuse would be a length question. You need to know the angle.
Don't remember.
So lads, Nick, sine, cos, or tan?
Be tan.
Alright, so tan what?
Tan 10.7.
No, tan of the angle you're talking about.
Alright.
Tan S is
10.12
divided by 8. If you're, it's an angle question, what's the last button you ever press on your calculator? Inverse. So it's an angle question, which means it's going to be 10.12. I'll say 10.12 divided by 8. What do you get here? 51.67 rounds up to 52 degrees. Everybody alright with that? 52 degrees? Now, diagram shows a ladder which is 8 meters in length, which leans against a vertical wall on level ground. The ladder makes an angle of 58 degrees with the ground. Calculate the distance. Now, can anybody explain what this means here? I actually struggled with it myself for a minute. It is from the bottom of the ladder to the bottom of the wall, but how would you know that? What's the key part there? It says ladder meets the ground. Ladder meets the ground here. And then bottom of the wall to the wall would be here. So you're looking for this distance here. What is the name of this line? Is it opposite or adjacent? Okay, you're going to work with the adjacent. What side do you know? You know the longest side, the hypotenuse. So you're working with A and H. So which one are you going to use? Which one? Cos. Cos what, guys?
Cos 58.
It's always the angle, guys, never the length. Cos angle equals what?
A.
Call it A or X, whatever you want. X over?
8.
8. Then what's the answer then? If they both had an 8, the 8s will cancel, wouldn't they? So what's 8 cos 58? 8 cos 58, anybody? 4.24. Guys, make sure you round up properly. Some of you kept that as 4.23. You lost out on a mark or two. So look at it, guys. You can see it there. 4.239, 4.24, not 4.23. Okay, that's that one done.
Would you lose 2 marks if you could?
Yeah, 1 or 2 marks usually. Okay. Alright lads, now this one here. Can anybody calculate BD? Paddy, what would be a good choice for BD? What? So Paddy's going with Pythagoras' theorem to get BD. So
A squared equals, first A squared equals,
call it x. Okay, x squared equals.
12 squared plus 1 squared.
Okay.
X squared equals 144 plus 81.
Yeah. 225. 225, which is x equals 15. Okay, 15 there. No worries. Most people got the 15 out, right? Most of you got. That's where you're picking. To be fair, you're picking up your marks on Pythagoras' theorem quite well. Now, it wants the area of ABCD. Anybody tell me the area formula for a triangle? Half AB sine C. So what about the area of the triangle I'm about to colour in green here? What about the area of this triangle here? This is 90 degrees here. So remember, it's half any two sides and the angle that's wedged in between. So half what, guys, for this one? 9 by 12 sine 90, and that'll get me 54. Everybody happy with that? Or is there any questions on that? Any questions? Okay, what about this triangle I'm now colouring in pink? Any idea about that one? A half, 14 times 15, then what else? Sine 63. See the sine 63 in the middle? And what do we get when we do the two of them together? Half 14 times 15, sine 63? 93. Alright, and it wants it to nearest integer, so 94. Add 54 and 94 together, because you're adding both areas together. And what happens then? 148. How many people got 148 out? I thought it was reasonably common. Okay. 148. Alright. Now lads, the last question wasn't completed. I had to write down what angle it was. What angle was it again? The angle DBC. I say DBC. So lads, with DBC, which one is DBC for a start? It's the one that, it's not all of B, it's like half of B, isn't it? So what we have here, just make this a bit less congested. So I want to find out this angle here. Now what triangle does that belong to? If it was to put all the information on this triangle, what would it look like? It'd have a 15 here, it has a 14 here, and it has a 63 here. So let's try this out. Okay, so what some of you guys did was some of you did a really smart move. You did the cosine rule first. And why would you do the cosine rule? You want to find the length of this one here. Now let me explain why you can't do the sine rule straight away. You would have had sine 63, or sorry, you would have had x over sine 63, right? And you would have had, we were looking for this angle here, weren't we? Let's call it B. And then you would have had 14 over sine B. Now what's the problem with that? 2 letters. So there's no way around this. We have to find out what x is. So to find out what x is, we're going to use the cosine rule. Anybody remember the cosine rule? A squared equals plus c squared minus c cos A. Which one should a squared be? X squared equals 15 squared plus minus by 14, and then what? Cos 63. Put all of that into the calculator. What do we get? I think 230.323. Just double check that now, because I don't think many people have it done. Just want to make sure I haven't got a round off error. Now, there it is, all one go, and exactly what it says. 230.324. I'd say. Do you see the 399? 324. 230 0.324. Well, if you want to start on your calculator, you can just square root your answer anyway. Root answer. And you get 15.18, let's call it. Now guys, what do we know about x now? X is 15.18, which will fix that up, won't it? So now we have, now we know there's only one letter left now, isn't there? The B. Alright, what's step 1 when doing this sine rule? Are we looking for an angle or a length? How do we know for sure we're looking for an angle? Any ideas how we know for sure we're looking for an angle? It's beside sine. Everything besides sine is an angle. So therefore we're looking for an angle. What is the last button we press to do this question? Inverse sine. Okay? So bring the sine 63 up and the sine B up. So you're going to get 15.18 sine B equals 14 sine 63. What's step number 2? We need sine B on its own. What's preventing sine B being on its own? Where does the 15.18 go? Underneath, on the other side. Now, what can we do next? Calculator. $63. And we're dividing that by 15.18. And it comes out on the calculator as 0.8217. What do we do with this 0.8217? Sine inverse it. Shift, sine inverse answer. And what we get is 55.26. And does it say to round that off? Does it want me to round it off? I never said. Oh, sorry, it is nearest integer. So 55 degrees. That was quite hard, wasn't it? That was actually the hardest question in the test, that one. Because actually you needed 2 parts to get to the one answer. Okay, so that'll be like a really hard part of a leaving cert question. Okay. Now, moving on. Anybody have any idea how to do this one? How would you know it's a cosine rule?
You have 2 letters if you get sine rule.
Okay, let's try the sine rule first. You'll have a sine. What's it? So guys, 6 over sine B. Would you agree with that? 6 over sine B equals 9 over sine A. We don't know the side that's opposite 56. We're out of options straight away. Let's go to the cosine rule. So Nick, which one do you want to choose to be angle A?
6.
Angle.
56.
56. What side is opposite to 56?
Opposite.
A to B.
Oh, yeah.
Which we'll call X. So if big A is 56, what's small A?
9.
What is 56 looking at?
Oh, X.
So X is small A. Now, what about the other 2 sides?
B is 6 and then C is 9.
Yeah. Then 6 times 9. All into the calculator. What do we get, Kim?
56.607.
And then 56.607. Square root that, and what do we get? 8. Because we have to round it up, don't we? So it's 8 kilometers. How many people got that one? 8. I think that was a pretty clean question overall. So most of you. Alright. Finally, I'll have time for this, yeah. What you thinking about this one, guys? Is it an angle question or a length question? How do you know it's an angle question? And nearest degree. Which one is QPR? Okay. Now, can we use the sine rule?
No.
Why?
It's
there's all, it's going to be like, what's it going to be, wait. 3 over sine P. Do you see that? The P is looking at the 3. The R is looking at the what, guys? So 7 over sine R. Just no matter what, there's going to be 2 letters. So when that happens, you go to the cosine rule. Are we allowed to use Pythagoras' theorem? Why not? Not a right angle triangle. And what's the other reason why you're not going to use Pythagoras' theorem? You're looking for an angle. Pythagoras' theorem gets you lengths. Okay. Mick, which one do you think should? What letter is big A going to turn into?
P.
Yeah. And if P is big A, what's small a?
Or Q or something.
It's whichever length your angle is looking at. So so it's 3 squared. And then the other 2 guys? 7 squared plus squared minus 2 times 7 times 5. What did I tell you about angle questions in cosine rules? Angle questions. Altogether. Stays there on its own for a while. So we're going to get 9 equals 49 plus 25 minus 70 cos P. What about the 49 and the 25? Bring them over. What's 9 minus 49 minus 25? Minus 64 equals minus 70 cos P. 65, sorry, excuse me. And then after that? Anybody know? Put the minus 70 under. Minus 65 over minus 70 cos P. If it's an angle question, what's the last thing you're going to do? Cos inverse 65. It's the same thing as minus 65 over minus 70. 21 points. Or rounds up to 22 degrees. How many people got 22 degrees yesterday? Okay, majority. That's us. Anybody want to do the last one?